Yes, hello friends, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. As always, mate, do hope you're doing well. I really do hope that, and welcome back to Chelsea News. That's right, here every single day, often multiple times a day, for you. Now, dear sweet viewer / listener. So yes, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Today we are discussing transfers, funnily enough, as we are in the midst of a transfer window. We're looking to complete what is widely being called the Double Dutch, Hato and Xavi Simons, which would represent, I think, short of a goalkeeper, an excellent transfer window in terms of incomings. I feel like we're pretty much complete, other than like a bit of player development, learning a little bit more about certain positions. And we're done, apart from a goalkeeper. We're done. Of course, lots of exits to get into today. We'll speak about that. We'll talk about a kit edit that looks lovely for Chelsea's third kit. Have Nike got a hat trick of correct kits? I think they might have, genuinely. Yeah, it's like the home kit, the away kit behind me there, and the third kit, and they look like perfect for what they're supposed to be. The Chelsea blue kit, no overtly silly patterns on it. Feels like nice Chelsea home kit. The away kit, the white kit with the accents on it, looks nice. It looks like a good Chelsea away kit. And the third kit is a little bit more spicy retro throwback, which of course, as a third kit, it has every license to be. Dare I say, they've ruddy done it. Matt Law's done an update on the Telegraph and a little bit on Joao Felix to Benfica. So, it's going to be a good one. Boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen, strap yourselves in, get comfortable, pour yourself a drink, and thank you as always for supporting the content here on the channel. I'm really grateful, man, for everyone who likes and subscribes. It's just a nice community that together we've built here over 6+ years. Yeah. Time of recording, we did hit over 197,000, so we've got 197,096, so nearly 170, 197.1. So high numbers I can't even say them. Congratulations to Spain women, by the way, for eliminating the German women in the semi-finals. I was hoping we'd get Germany in the final. I don't think England have been that good. We probably will lose to Spain, but then again, everyone said that about Chelsea and PSG in the Club World Cup final. So, you never know. Right, first of all, let's take a look at this edit of the third kit. Bang! Here on X at London Football. Chelsea's leaked kit for third kit for the upcoming season. It's Cole Palmer in it. It's by a page or editor called Backpost. I imagine it's like a page. Look at that. Oh, Stavo! Overhead kick winner in that kit. Lovely. I obviously like. It's a little bit like bold in certain ways. Got the old Chelsea badge, of course. I like it. I like the blue. I like the accent. I like the collar. I like everything about it. Obviously, it's got a long sleeve underneath in this edit with Cole, but I think I would buy that pretty sharpish to get on the rail behind me. And yeah, man, like I said, with the first, the second, and indeed the third, in terms of contextually what each kits represent, what they usually like, I think it's wicked, man. I do. I think it's really nice. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Right, we're just going to look at the Telegraph now, one moment. Okay, so there's been an article on the Telegraph with Matt Law. It's a general article about Premier League spend. Premier League heavyweights in 1 billion spending frenzy as rivals left behind. Lots of talking about Chelsea. We love transfers. We'll speak about this. We'll go on a little bit more detail in the big hitters that we're waiting for, Xavi Simons. Chelsea are on course to become the second Premier League club to take their summer spending commitments towards the £300 million as the season's last top four threaten to pull away from the chasing pack. Almost 6 weeks of the transfer window remains. That's mental, isn't it? I mean, that's for us is going to be sales, isn't it? It's going to be just get the sales done. The top 4 clubs may well commit deals worth a combined £1 billion by the end of it. This is in stark contrast with last season's 5th and 6th place clubs, the Newcastle and Villa, who have not yet spent £100 million between them. Well, Villa didn't get Champions League in the end, did they? Although they did sell their women's team to them, and they've got big investors. So forward Xavi Simons and defender Jorel Hato are the latest players Chelsea are making progress on. Having already signed Liam Delap, Joao Pedro and Jamie Gittins, and have completed the deals that were set up this summer for the captures of Dario Sugo and Willian Estevao, and of course Mamadou Sarr, who we're, giving back to Strasbourg. Chelsea will offset their spending by making over 200 million in sales, which Christopher Nkunku is the latest example of the kind of interest in their fringe players can generate. Bayern Munich, which we know about, Nottingham Forest, ooh la la, and Newcastle. You heard about Man United, who's not being listed here, but Toon and Forest being included in the potential landing spots for Christopher Nkunku. Our club, and also clubs in Italy, have all registered interest in Nkunku, while Villa are yet to receive a single realistic offer for one of their star players, Emi Martinez. A deal for RB Leipzig star Xavi Simons, who wants to join Chelsea and is valued at £60 million, is dependent on at least one sale being agreed, but that should not be an issue with Nkunku as a wanted man. Joao Felix is a target for Benfica and others, we'll get onto that, and the possibility of offers for Nicholas Jackson. Money, 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 money! It's there, baby! Carney Chukwuemeka is one of at least 3 players Leipzig have asked about signing, and the midfield is he's also got interest from the Premier League, with Chelsea wanting to sell him permanently rather than agreeing to another loan. Of course, he was just loaned to Borussia Dortmund. Sources are confident Chelsea can strike a deal to sign Simons, but they also retain an interest in Alejandro Garnacho and Morgan Rogers. Chelsea interest in defender Hato, who can play as a left-sided central defender, backup for Levi Colwill, or as a left back. More importantly, backup for Cucurella, who's played like 1,000 games, really well, but it's way too many games in his legs. Has been well documented, and space would be made for his arrival at least one defensive sale. Of course, Renato Vega is the subject of an approach from Atletico Madrid. The thing is with apparently, Atletico Madrid are looking at alternatives because they don't want to spend the £35 million that Chelsea definitely want for Vega. We're apparently not showing wiggle room. So we'll see what happens there. But regardless, I feel like there's such a big... Again, he's like a wanted man as well, isn't he? Renato Vega. So, I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't be a problem to ultimately sell him. Now, let's talk about the Dutch fellas, shall we? Right. So, we've officially started talks with Hato. We've made an approach before, but now the talks are official. He wants to come to Chelsea, and as does Xavi Simons. Let's start with Hato, because he is such an important player, I think, positionally for us. Like I said, Cucurella plays so many games. We relied on him. He was so important. He played good defensively. He played good offensively. He played good out wide. He played good playing inside. He was such an important player. We need backup. And Cucurella turned 27 yesterday. Happy birthday to him. One of the oldest players in the squad now. I think he's joint oldest on outfield player with Tosin now, in a very young squad. So we do need someone else to come in. And of course, Jorel Hato is 19. Romano tweeted this yesterday. Chelsea have an agreement on personal terms with Hato. The defender has asked to leave. Negotiations are advancing to the final stations, as fee discussed is around now 40 million euros, which of course is about 34 million pounds. I'm totally okay with that for a player. That seems perfect for us. Hato has informed Ajax management and the manager of his clear desire to join Chelsea Football Club. I repeat, he wants to join, and the personal terms have been agreed. The transfer fee should be around 35 million pounds. I think that's fine, as a really important deputy. Arsenal have just spent 52 million pounds on a deputy in Noni Madueke. Which represented a huge profit for us, of course. So yes, one thing Jorel Hato has in common with Xavi Simons, not being his Dutch nationality, is he really wants to join Chelsea. Now, Xavi Simons is being reported that it is a dream for him to come to Chelsea. He's always dreamed of Chelsea. The quote goes like this. Xavi, it's coming from Football.London. Xavi Simons has always dreamed of a move to Chelsea, with the attacker believed to be an avid follower of Chelsea when he was growing up. In fact, when he was a child, Simons had a trial at Cobham. Who ruddy didn't? What successful footballer in world or European football didn't have a trial at Cobham when growing up? Kylian Mbappe had trials at Cobham growing up. So funny. Good to know though that he dreams of Chelsea. Look, we've done this to death, but he's a really good player. He for me would indicate a slight change of the way we play. We won't have necessarily Enzo Fernandez crashing the box. It'll be two inside pocket players at times. Of course, they'll be rotated in. I imagine he would be sort of farmed out at left wing sometimes. But you could have like a Cole Palmer or Estevao in a right pocket. The left pocket could be, Xavi Simons or an Enzo Fernandez. We did a sort of loose technical lineup thing yesterday, speaking about it. It would be great. Like, they both want Chelsea. The personal terms have been agreed with Joel Hato. Xavi Simons, you can imagine it won't be an issue. He'll probably, obviously, he's 3 years older than Hato. He's certainly more high profile. And probably most pertinently, he's an attacker. You sort of get paid more money the further up the pitch you get. We looked at his stats yesterday when he plays as an attacking midfielder and not like just a functional midfielder. And he gets over a goal every other game, which is an elite return. You'd have to say. I imagine I don't know if he's on penalty, so I wouldn't want to speculate. But if he's not, that's an excellent return indeed. Yeah, man. So we're cooking. We are cooking new attackers. I think rather peculiarly, I think Matt Law forgot to mention Jamie Gittins, a £48 million signing in that list of new attackers as well. Of course, a right-footed left winger, incredible, prospect, and one of the best dribblers in European football, and actually has very good shooting metrics when he actually does shoot. He's not profligate with his chances. So we've got every reason to be excited as Chelsea fans at the moment. Even our most, I don't want to speak for the fan base, but our biggest concerns in like the goalkeeper, even Rob Sanchez, the last time we saw him play football, he played really well in a final against PSG. So the vibes are up. You'd have to say. Right, so what's going on with exits? Of course, still a massive situation to solve. Big Romano saying Benfica are actively trying to sign Joao Felix, with talks now ongoing with agent Menges, who of course is Chelsea's favourite person, Todd Bowley and co. Deal depends on Chelsea conditions, but Joao will leave. He will leave. Joao will leave. He will leave. Guys, he'll leave. That's it. Negotiations are expected to advance soon. Felix keen on a comeback. And I hope for him he gets it, man. I can't remember. It might have been Matt Law, or it might have been one of the guys in London is Blue. I forget who said it exactly. Was it on Straight Out of Cobham? It was a podcast, I'm pretty sure. Talking about how actually the first 6 months before Felix went to Milan, it wasn't that bad. I think he was just like, well, I'm not a starter here. Palmer's cooking and I'm playing in the Conference League and yada, yada, yada. But he was contributing. And he was one of the boys. I wonder if he didn't go and push for a Milan loan and stayed in, played in the Conference League final, maybe came off the bench in a few big games in the Club World Cup, what his situation would be now. I guess maybe we'd still be selling him because I don't know. We might not be buying Xavi Simons if he did well. But the truth is, he's not on massive wages. He's just about in the wage structure squeezed in. So this is, even though, the wages will be a problem for a Benfica outside the top 5 leagues, he is very much an attainable asset for other clubs. It's very hard to feel bad for a multimillionaire footballer who's played for some of the biggest clubs and lives in amazing places, but he is a talented guy, and he does need a home now. He's 25 now, and he needs to just go somewhere for 6 years, play at a really good level. Maybe it's Benfica, win titles, play in the Champions League, stay in the Portugal national team, and then, in his early 30s, go and cook into Miami or something. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. Because it's not worked at Barca. He's not going to go to, any Madrid club now after his time with Atletico. And I don't think, as PSG aren't going to be looking at him. Like, it's, maybe there's like a timeline where he would have gone to like a Juventus and Juventus become good again. I don't know. It's tricky, isn't it? Maybe his like options were Turkey. I kept saying like Turkey because you get, they'll pay his wages and he can play for passionate fan bases that play in the Champions League, or just a homecoming where it all happened for him, that gave him the big move in the first place, the 120 million move to Atletico Madrid, which wasn't the right career decision, I don't think. It is, I know, but it's hard to have sympathy for these guys in terms of, well, no, it's fine to have sympathy. Be compassionate to everyone. I do kind of feel bad for him, Other than that, let's hope either Bayer Leverkusen, Ten Hag does us a favour, or indeed an Italian club picks up Raheem Sterling and he can, for his own good, he's a good guy, reignite his own career, and we can get some of these exits going. And then Kunku, I think Bayern Munich would make the most sense, but, if he has to go to a Forest or Newcastle, I suppose, so be it. I'd like to see him go to it'd be quite nice to see him go to Newcastle. Not Newcastle. Well, yeah, it would be fine. But Nottingham Forest, I think there's something quite nice about that. We'll see what happens. Of course, he's on big wages. He'll have to take a wage cut because he does predate the wage structure. But we'll see what happens. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Please do leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you as always for liking and subscribing here at Football Therapy. And of course, daily content over on the second channel. If you've made it this far, you might like my content. And therefore, you'd probably like the non-Chelsea footballing content on Football Yannick. Just search Football Yannick on YouTube. Mate, keep it locked because I'll be here when the news pops. Enjoy the football. Peace.